Hey, Victory at Starfighters. My name is Carlin Jones, and welcome to the live stream. I see Lazar is the first one here, per usual. Uh, hey, Lazar. Yeah, we are so watching Cybergirl. I'm ready. It's been what? How long? It's probably been like 2 months since I've seen the last, or at least my last Cybergirl episode. I stopped at episode 10, and that was when kind of things were getting good. But then at that point, I don't know if I was watching something else, but yeah. Matter of fact, let me switch over to my view. Do 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 do. Hold on. Do 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 do. So yeah, Cyber Girl. Cybergirl is such a interesting show. As I try to get my screen back on. So we are going to start with episode 11 because it's not like it's a random episode, but that's legit the episode that I ended off on. How do I get back? I'm gonna figure this out. Oh wait, I think I got it. All right, there we go. Yeah. So, as I was saying, we're going to start with episode 11 of Cybergirl. But first, let's just talk about Cybergirl and maybe try to decipher why I stopped watching it. So, as we all know, Cybergirl only has one season, 26 episodes, I believe. Initially, when I first started watching Cybergirl, I was thinking, whoa, this is a pretty cool show. It's a kid's show that's, kind of, aimed towards superheroes from back in the early 2000s. And if the lead protagonist is a girl who is a cyborg. I thought this was really cool. There's stunts, clearly, explosions, really cool, some really cool stuff happening. But what my problem with the entire Cybergirl I guess season from what I've seen so far. And if you listen to any of my full episode reviews, I talk about this as well. But Cybergirl, so this is a live action superhero show in a sense, right? It really, really comes off as a cartoon show, right? Uh it really comes off as a cartoon because, as you know, in many other cartoons that you watch, you have your characters, you have your dilemma, and you have your antagonist. As the episode unfolds, things go wrong, the hero has to save it, this and that and the third, right? At the end of the episode, all the problems will get reset back to normal. And by the start of the next episode, at the start of the next episode, everything will kind of, just go back to normal in a sense. And that's probably the number one thing that I do not like about Cybergirl. We're supposed, we're treated as if these characters are real. These characters have feelings. These characters have lives that are affected day to day by living in River City. But at the same time, each episode starts as if nothing ever happened, as if Cybergirl is like seeing the world anew for the first time. So I can understand why people would get bored with this show. Although, don't get me wrong, it is a very cool show. Lazar says, as Cybergirl says, I'm on a cybernetic human prototype 6000 in the first episode. Yeah, she's still a cyborg. If you want to be technical, she's an android, and we'll get into that when we start the episode. I think she's an android, not a cyborg. I know it's Cybergirl because she's made out of cybernetics, but technically, from her appearance, she is an android. But we'll definitely get more into that. But yeah, it makes sense why kids or even adults would get bored with this show, because what happened to me was I started watching so many episodes of Cybergirl. I watched 10 episodes and I'm like, oh, this is a cool show. I like the characters, this and that and a third. And then over something happening, maybe like I was like, all right, I gotta go start this other show, or I have to go make this review. So I'm gonna miss this day of watching Cybergirl. When I missed the day, I was like, yeah, I missed the day. No big deal. I didn't really miss it. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I have to, like, oh man, I can't believe I missed Cybergirl. Like, oh, I gotta really catch up. Not at all. I kept watching another show, kept doing more reviews, this and that. And as more time went on, it was just like, even if I do go back to Cybergirl, I'm not really missing out on anything if I come back. Because again, nothing really changes in the world of Cybergirl. You can literally, if this show would have went on for 5 seasons, I guarantee you can take a break, come back in season 4 with only seeing a little bit of season 1, and you won't miss out on anything. Nothing major happening. So that's one of the few downsides that I can understand why people stop watching Cybergirl, because there's not really any stakes that happens, and there's not really any crazy conflicts and things of that nature. But and of course, when I say that, episode 10 did leave off, or not leave off, but episode 9 and episode 10 was pretty good because it actually kind of had some tension built up into it. But again, Lazar says, I do like some of the comedy in Cybergirl. You do get some laughs out of it. Yeah, I agree. I think the other cyborgs, the villain cyborgs, are really funny. And as of all of 2021, Cybergirl's quote in one of the episodes when she was dealing with a bully has been stuck in my head forever. When she's like, "You're not computing." I've been saying that all day, every day in my head. But yeah, Cybergirl, what a good show. Good show. I can understand how people can think, well, I do believe it can be a very forgettable show, but all in all, it's a good show. Um, you have to think about it too. So, Lazar, I want you to really think about, and anyone else who's listening, think of, so this show that's playing right now, on the under the just chatting, it's the tribe, right? Imagine Cybergirl coming on at like, let's say 2 in the afternoon, maybe 3 p.m. in the afternoon on a weekend where kids are going to watch it, right? Or maybe even like Saturday morning, right? Let's say Cybergirl was coming on Saturday morning and it had a lineup of other shows it was competing against. Let's say the lineup is The Tribe, Ocean Girl, Thunderstone, right? And then let's say your typical Superman or Batman morning cartoon, right? For me personally, out of all those shows, I'm watching Cybergirl last. I'm watching Cybergirl last just from how much, from what those other shows can bring in terms of content wise, and how the characters are actually going through something, and each episode is really different from each other, and it's not like a repetitive cartoon, even though Superman and Batman are cartoons. But even then, there were some stakes in that, right? I feel like that's what happened to the show and why it was canceled. It wasn't that it wasn't a good show, but just from the fact that there was a lot of other shows that are out there and they have just a little bit more to offer. Although Cybergirl is such a freaking cool show, and it's honestly, I mean, you don't really see it nowadays. Kid shows having a lot of crazy stunts and a lot of I mean, you see CGI stuff, but a lot of practical effects and all that. I think it's really cool because I grew up watching television that were kid shows and teenage shows that were definitely live action, and they had those type of effects and really cool stuff. So one of them was like Young Hercules with Ryan Gosling. That was super cool, seeing him do all the stuff with practical effects. I know it's not a kid show, but I remember growing up watching Walker Texas Ranger, and that had some really cool practical effects. Um, what's another kid show to have? Oh, Power Rangers. Oh, get at it. See, listen, Cybergirl wouldn't even come close to Power Rangers and how amazing that show is, and how each episode, some of them are like, oh, it's episodic and it will start over again. Or not necessarily episodic, but each episode has a conflict and it will restart over again, right? But some Power Ranger episodes, they lead to such drastic events, and it's just from the fact that knowing that each Power Rangers season doesn't just end and it's over. Each season will lead to the next group of Rangers. So there's like this ever longing story being told. I feel like with Cybergirl, there's only one story being told, and it's just each episode. And by the end of each episode, that story ends, and we will never revisit it, right? That's why when episode 9 and 10 of Cybergirl, when she had the possibility to get her friends injured for her being, or for Cybergirl doing superhero stuff, and she was, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? No, excuse me. Doing, well, she just didn't want her friends to get hurt, right? So she decided to drift off into this other part of the countryside, and she meets a whole new family, and kind of reinstills her values of really what it truly means to be a superhero, and to have responsibility, and to care after the ones you love. So I thought that was really cool. And that's why I am interested to see what episode 11 has in store. Is it going to continue those values, or is it just like, hey, we're completely starting over again? So yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. So, yeah. Um I don't know if there's much more I can say about that. I mean, I guess that's just the intro. When we get into these episodes, majority of these episodes are just 22, 23 minutes long. And, no, wait, 23 to 24 minutes long, I believe. Which should be exciting because I do love long TV shows. And I am excited to see Cybergirl turn into Cybergirl again. The best part of the entire show for me is when she turns into Cybergirl and you hear the music, you hear the techno music happening, or when she's just doing Cybergirl stuff. So, as I was like kind of getting these videos together, I saw episode 1 starts off with her doing Cybergirl stuff. So, we'll get to see how cool that gets to be. Okay, so we are going to start episode 11 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This intro is still awesome. One thing I really wanted to know, if this show would have gotten a season 2, a season 3, I want to know what they would have changed in an intro. Because I love TV intros. If you ever, if anyone ever gets to look at my iTunes, I have like an artist labeled TV themes, and I just have nothing but TV show intros. Here we go. She's doing Cybergirl stuff. I'm eating a snack, by the way, so if you hear chewing, I'm sorry. So I just so along with Ocean Girl, Cybergirl kind of holds on to that mantle of, we don't know how strong she is, how fast she is, or we don't know the limits of her powers. which is, I don't know, but I guess that's up for us fans to just keep watching and just decipher little things. Because episode 1, she picked up a truck with little to no effort, and that's at least what, 2 pound or 2 tons. Yeah, that's at least 2 tons, and she did that easy. But I think the one thing they're really missing out on in this season, and maybe they're gonna do it, I don't know. I'm like halfway through the season, or a little bit less than halfway. I think who this guy, I forgot his name, the guy who owns like the mega company. Yeah, have him be like the Lex Luthor. Uh, have him be the Lex Luthor of this show. Have him as a recurring villain or whatever. But have new villains maybe every 4 episodes, every 3 episodes of like maybe a group of guys robbing the bank, maybe a scientist who worked for the Lex Luthor guy and he's gone rogue with his own stuff, doing his own experiments. Not a bad idea. People do the same thing for Spider-Man and whatnot. Lazarus says rip the truck open, or rip the truck in episode 2. So she like ripped it in half. I don't remember that. I think this actor, I think he's doing a good job. I can tell he's done. For some reason, I can tell he's done characters that are completely 180 from what he's doing now. Why? Why the hell would I do that if I can just do it really fast? You're crazy. I understand that, but I was in the comfort of my own home. She can use her powers. But why would I? That's the question. You're absolutely crazy. You think Clark Kent takes the subway to the Daily Planet? That's so stupid. You think Peter Parker just takes the subway when he's going to the Daily Bugle? It's called convenience. These two twins look a lot like my friend and her family. I have a friend who will be on the podcast eventually. I have her episode. I just keep it for when I need an episode, but her entire family, they all look alike. It's like it's twins of like 15 people. Absolutely crazy. Oh, I remember her. I don't really eat yogurt. Hmm. Good eye. I do miss these two. But I want to see a situation where these two have to, or these three have to work together in order to stop whatever threat. That would be really cool. Yeah, duh. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. This episode is not making me like these other characters anymore. This is so stupid. Well, at least he's allowing you to do it. Some fakes out there. Catfish all over again. Fuck the bet. No, it doesn't. Oh, I was like, what are they looking at? And it was like a little computer. What an idiot. You think that's really Cybergirl? Lazar says, yeah, once Rylas gets involved, Isaac and Zandra get a bit sidelined. Oh, well, thank you for telling me that, Lazar. I'm looking forward to watching the other episodes now. 6 o'clock tonight. That's hilarious. Oh, cool. Damn, what happened? I officially hate these characters now. They have to redeem themselves. This is not a good episode for me to come back to and trying to watch this show. I would have been turned this off. I mean, I get it. They're teaching a lesson, which I get the lesson, but at the same time, it makes no sense. That's like Gordon Ramsay being so good at cooking, and then you're telling him, like, hey, you know what? To be like us who don't know what we're doing, you have to cook with only using one hand and blindfolded. Why the fuck did you do that? Well, how about y'all help her? Jesus Christ. Yeah, help her. Oh, no, have a good lid on it. No. She's doing fine. That's a good trick, though. To put the wooden spoon on top of her pot. Yeah, it would never boil over. She can feel pain. Yeah, duh. Ledger says, "Oh look, someone dressed up as Cybergirl in this episode. Basically, that girl on the computer is a fangirl. She's not a fangirl. She's a catfish. She's catfishing them, and she's a troll. Think of the mental space someone has to be in to enable to do this, to lie to yourself. Look, they're looking at her like that's not Cybergirl. How? That if you age her 20 years." This guy's wise. So in Australia, do you guys have a president? I'm surprised the president isn't here, or who's ever in charge of the entire continent of Australia. Yeah, get the hell out of my face. He literally walked downstairs to say that. Yeah, why would she be excited? Someone's pretending to be her and capitalize off her. Yeah, why would it be? Yo, these yo. Oh, a prime minister. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Hey, it's Jackson, right? Is Jackson his name? I forgot the other girl's name. But they're being complete assholes this episode. Let me guess. Next episode, they're not going to be assholes at all. Why would it be? You think she would come through there? This is absolutely hilarious. This is like Spider-Man. If anyone plays Spider-Man 2 on like PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, there was a mission where someone was pretending to go around being Spider-Man. And you're like, you're not Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man. You're gonna ask her. Well, clearly you are if you didn't know how to do it. Oh God. Oh, we didn't get to see her morph. Yeah, one's a lot paler though. All right, that was the funniest thing in the entire episode. I think that was actually the funniest thing in this entire season. How tall is Cybergirl? She's looking down on her. Fun fact, I actually reached out to the actress who plays Cybergirl. She's on Twitter. I reached out to see if she wants to ever be a part of my live stream. You fake. You Soliton. Yeah, I'm gonna see if she has an Instagram. That'll probably be a way easier to reach her there. But she's pretty active on Twitter. The last post she made was like New Year or Christmas Eve. Are you serious right now? about to use my cyberkinetic powers to kick your ass. How about that? Yeah, these two characters. What is going on? They were such cool characters, and now they're just. Ugh. They're just. Ugh. All right, that's the episode. Let's okay. Seriously, we need to talk about this episode for a minute. We need to talk about what we just witnessed. Um, okay, first off, wow. Okay, so let's talk about what the moral message was for this episode. And Lazarus says it kind of feels like they are a bit out of character or something. Well, Lazarus, that's what happens. Excuse me. That's what happens when you have a season that has so many episodes, and you have characters that just need to do something, right? When you don't write your characters to be consistent and for them to have a purpose in the moral dilemma of what the episode is, then easily. Or here's the thing. Here's probably what it is. Well, you don't have the budget to hire more actors that will probably just be guest starring roles that will show up for an episode or two just to teach a moral message to the protagonist. We don't have a budget like that, or you don't have the time and resources to do that. Then you just start getting your so-called main characters or other characters who are established to play characters or to have personalities as if they would never have, just to have that episode kind of push the plot. And that's what we saw. Clearly, and stop me if I'm wrong, Lazar, clearly this episode would have been 20 times better if those two twins were the main focus of the episode with Cybergirl. If we would have spent more time on their characters, except for Jackson and Kel, is that her name? I feel like that's not her name. Jackson and the other girl, this episode would have been way better. Because just like how we see with Jackson's dad, how he's completely sidelined throughout probably ever since the third or fourth episode, Jackson could have been sidelined too. I think he's been such a consistent part of the season that he could have been sidelined and we would have been A-okay with that. The same thing with the other girl. I don't think she needed to be in this episode like that, right? This is still early in the season, especially with a 26 episode season. So why not just have the other characters you establish be in the forefront? Let's get to know them. Let's see their purpose. This is River City, right? This is a city of living people who have lives, who have conscious decisions that make who they are day in and day out. So this episode, look, I'm about to rewrite the episode right here. This episode would have been 20 times better if Cybergirl used her powers in the beginning to clean the house, right? She showed up to school. The twins are making a big deal about Cybergirl. She's this and she's that, whatever, right? One twin really likes Cybergirl. She's a huge fan, right? The other twin is saying Cybergirl is stupid. She completely uses her cyber skills to get ahead in life. She could never be human, right? And this would have been a moral dilemma for Cybergirl to learn, for not everyone is going to like you in life, and that's okay. And as Cybergirl, as she's continuing to save people and starting to become more of a public figure in Australia, or especially in River City, she would have been caught trying to please everyone, which is a serious, dangerous situation that everyone needs to learn in life. You cannot please everyone. Not everyone is going to like you. And you see Cybergirl maybe changing her appearance, maybe changing her hair, maybe changing the way she runs or walks, or even the way she talks to try to appeal to certain people and not being herself. To the point where you would have got to the climax of the episode, the exposition, excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it right, but the museum. She would have got to the museum part of the episode, and as she's talking like this, talking like that, maybe one twin is kind of like, Cybergirl, I thought you would have done better with yourself. I thought you would have kept being yourself. Whereas the other twin was like, see, told you so. You're not truly yourself. You're a fake. You don't know who you are in this world. And Cybergirl would have learned that life lesson of always, always, always be yourself. That, what I just said, would have been 20,000 times better than what we just watched. Again, I understand what this episode is trying to do. I do appreciate it in that standpoint. But this episode, you can entirely skip. And again, you will not miss out on anything. Well, I stand corrected. I hate to contradict myself. I stand corrected. What's that character's name? I think you said Isaac. That Isaac moment where he's like pretending to have the police officer not notice him and he just runs. That almost makes the episode worth seeing. That was insanely funny. I really enjoyed that. He needs more screen time. But yeah. And this is what we're watching 5 episodes, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna rank each episode on a scale of 1 to 10. We're gonna rank each episode on a scale of 1 to 10, and so let's see. This episode 11, I'm gonna give it a. Do I want to? I was thinking of giving it a 5, but I might give it a 4. Maybe a 4. Just because one, Jackson and the other girl were completely unbearable in this episode. It's completely the opposite of what they should be acting like. So that was unbearable. Another thing is unbearable is seeing, once again, seeing so many side characters of this River City that I want to know more about. And again, we don't get to know more about them. They just get treated to the side. So for an example, Ryla's assistant, and then Ryla's assistant, the female, I think she's probably the receptionist or whatever. Who else? The twins, the teacher, all of them, they just get sidelined. And again, this episode would have been so perfect for the twins. This episode would have been so perfect. I really, 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 really wish I could have been in that writer's room and maybe talk to the creator or whoever's writing it and just be like, so why aren't we using the twins? Why can't we have them be these two personalities that we see Jackson and the other girl doing? Because clearly they're not that. That's not who they are at their core. And the more you keep doing this throughout the season, one episode are like this, the other episode are like this, the more you keep doing that, the more disinterest this show is going to get, which is another reason that can lead to cancellation. So yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 11. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it... Listen, I would give it a 4, but I'm going to give it a 5 just from that Isaac scene alone. That Isaac scene alone gave it one whole extra point. So funny. So funny. So yeah, episode 2. Oh, and normally when I do my full episode reviews, I name these episodes. So I think episode 11, I would name it... Well, if we're going off the the moral question that I would have wanted in this episode of Cybergirl not being her true self and trying to please everyone, I would name this episode The Real You, or maybe The Real Cybergirl. Yeah, I'll probably name it that. If not that, I'll probably just name it Catfish. Which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for my computer to reboot itself or to load up this episode, and then we'll get started. Lazarus says, yeah, it's filler and not the good kind of filler. Well, I appreciate that you're conscious about that. But listen, even everyone has a favorite TV show that they can watch all the time, and they have episodes within their entire series that are just awful, absolutely terrible. It's normal for a TV show to have this because, listen, I have a rule. For a TV show that is starting off, the pilot episode will let you know how the rest of that season can go. And that entire first season will let you know how that entire series is going to go. So that pilot episode of Cybergirl, even though I really enjoyed it, everything was kind of cartoon-ish, didn't really have much stakes, and it's kind of foreshadowing what the rest of the season's the rest of the season is going to be. So yeah, this isn't a surprise that we got an episode like this, but again, it's normal in television. I'm just happy I could watch that Isaac scene. That was absolutely hilarious. Okay, so we are going to get started with episode 12. That episode 11 got a 5 out of 10, with the strongest character in my eyes being Isaac. All right, so we're going to start with episode 12 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They should have some like an actor pretend to be the prime minister. Then I think that would have been cool. Or maybe, I don't know. In America, we really don't think of other countries' leaders except for like Korea, which again, majority of Americans know nothing about him, but we just hear all the bad stuff. Or North Korea, excuse me, because obviously there's two sides of it. This theme song is still awesome, still awesome. Hmm? On a vacation? Hmm. Well, I am happy we get to know what's her name's family. We get to know them a little bit more because the dad is kind of funny and interesting. It's so funny how her parents are like that, and then she's complete opposite. She's almost like a hipster, or she is a hipster. Oh yeah, well, you are an android. The water should be fine for you. Is he wearing a speedo? Don't you think of a person who's made out of cybernetics? You think they would want to swim? This episode's not starting off good. These characters, man, what are they doing? That's hilarious. Sounds like Isaac. Let me see if that actress who plays Cybergirl is on Instagram. I want to know what he wants. What he wants with Cybergirl. Lizer says, "Yeah, I like Kat and Jackson though. Not in episode 11. That was not great. Yeah, they're great characters. Or I really do like Kat. So that's her name, Kat. Okay, Kat. I do like Kat. I do like Jackson as well, and I do love Jackson's father. I think he's a really cool character too. It's just when you don't want to establish these other characters and have them do other things, this is what happens." She's an android, you guys. What makes you think she wants to be in the water? Right? Duh. You just answered your own question. No. Yeah, you see, I knew she wouldn't like malfunction in water. She's an android. Which, by the way, let's talk about that. I know the show is called Cybergirl and saying she's a cyborg. That's not what a cyborg is. If you want to be technical, there's a difference between an android, a robot, a cyborg, and a Cylon. A robot is just all metal, all machine. It looks like a machine. That's what a robot is, right? An android is something like the Terminator, right? You look at Arnold Schwarzenegger as a Terminator. He is all robot, but he looks human. He functions just like a robot, but has a human appearance. That is an android. A cyborg is someone who is mostly human with cybernetics. Maybe a robotic arm, robotic leg. Uh, maybe you're all robot but have a human heart or whatever. The best example for a cyborg is AKA Cyborg from Teen Titans. He is a cyborg. Um, and obviously a Cylon is just from Battlestar Galactica, which technically they would kind of be androids. So from what I know, and correct me if I'm wrong. Well, why did she turn into Cybergirl to get in the water? She didn't have to do that. I would love for Cybergirl to meet the people from Strange Days at Blake Hosey High. Yeah, they need their own episode. They need their own episode. But what was I saying about androids? So let me know if I'm wrong, but I think Cyborg says she was made in a lab, right? She's not human, like at all, right? She's inside of her is all cybernetics. From what I understand, she cannot bleed, she cannot cry, and she is meant to appear to look human. So that in itself makes her an android. Well, that's consistent to his character. He never admits anything when he's feeling bad. Well, he needs to get over himself. That's his ego talking. This actress of Cybergirl is pretty funny. Cybergirl swimming. Lazarus says Cybergirl swimming like it was nothing. That's pretty awesome. See, we need more of that with Cybergirl, what she did with swimming, only with just other things. Like there should have been, like they should like, we should have more scenes of them in school, of like in gym, and maybe like weight training class. And in weight training class, she's like, "Ooh, are these the weights?" And then you just see them putting on weights and like, "Oh, you don't want to do that. You're literally kill yourself." And she's like, "You mean like this?" And literally she just picks it up with one arm. That would have been hilarious. Or not even that, right? That would have been a little bit too forthcoming. Maybe something like Dragon Ball Z, when Gohan was playing baseball with his college friends, and clearly they didn't know he was a Z fighter. So he literally hit that baseball like literally 1,000 yards. And everyone was like, "What the?" How did you hurt yourself? I would have beat that snake's ass. You're not biting me. Jackson, what the hell are you doing? How did you get hurt? Might have to suck the venom out, depending. What is wrong with you? Another good example of a cyborg is RoboCop. I should have said that before Cyborg himself. Lazar says, "Remember how we talked about Neri versus Cybergirl swimming? Yeah, as you saw, Cybergirl just swims really fast, lap to lap. But that's different though. I would still take Neri in a fight, especially if it's going to be in water, than Cybergirl, because again, well, let's talk about this. Neri can communicate with fish, or at least mammals underwater, right? Like she did with Charlie, and I imagine she can do that with other whales, right? So I don't know. I'm thinking like some Aquaman type stuff. Like she can command whales to attack Cybergirl. um, and again, we just saw Cybergirl. Yeah, they already see you. I can kind of understand how people can't put two and two together. That Ashley is Cybergirl. She does kind of look different with that whole thing. This fool really got himself hurt on vacation. Sweet, thank you. Hey, Lazarus, healthcare free in Australia? It's not here. But why? Just. But then you have to explain why Ashley isn't there. She could have easily just ran away and then morphed back into Ashley. That's cool. Anyway, so back to this discussion with Cybergirl versus Neri. Again, we see Cybergirl doing really fast laps in water, right? Again, it doesn't tell us how fast that is. It's just really sped up to be really fast. We need like an exact measure of speed. For Neri, the exact same thing happens too. We literally see Neri outrace a speeding boat, right? Clearly, Cybergirl can do that as well. So we don't know the limits of both their powers. She hurt him. Maybe she is. I don't know. Yeah, she shouldn't have went on a helicopter. Now they're gonna be suspicious. Duty calls. But again, who knows the the Neri the Neri. Oh God. What are you gonna do? She can. Cybergirl can literally destroy this entire planet if she wanted to. I would feel no threat from that at all. When the helicopter doors open, just boom. That's it. Wow, really? This person needs medical attention, and you are just gonna lock him out? What a piece! What a piece of trash. If okay. So here's what I'm thinking of how fast Cybergirl is, right? If Cybergirl is really that fast, she would have been able to do like some flash type stuff and just run off the building and just run off through the windows of the building. You know what I mean? Like just run down the building. So I think Cybergirl is fast, but I don't think she's as fast as what we think. Yeah, this guy clearly has a superior complex. Yeah, why would you want to rule the world? Not sure how to compare Neri to the girls from H2O swimming wise, since they haven't gotten to that. Since you haven't gotten to that show yet. Wait, are they mermaids in H2O? I've always wanted to watch Aquamarine. I guess maybe I should watch that for the podcast. That's so funny. Pretty genius of Reese though. Hospitals are pretty hard to navigate around if you don't know where you're going. But again, she should have just jumped off and then with her speed just run through the side of the building. But I guess she's not that fast. Wow, how cool! Yeah, how about we stop talking about it? In case the security cameras are listening. Is this her? Oh, I think I found the actress who plays Cybergirl on Instagram. I feel like this is her. Is this her? Wait, that's the episode? That's it? Well, that was quick. I feel like when the episode was getting good, it got good, but it wasn't until like I feel like it wasn't until when I would say Neary. It wasn't until when Cybergirl met Reese. That's when the episode took like a really dark turn, and it felt like this really was the start of a really great rivalry because both of them have their intention. They're both complete opposites of each other and what they really want for River City and how they want to live their lives, which is beautiful. I absolutely love that. Um, the rest of the episode, though, in my opinion, I would say 2/3 of it was kind of useless. Jackson needs to get off his high horse. Stop comparing yourself to a cybernetic female. Everything she does physically will obviously be easy for her. Um, so yeah. Um, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you with that, but yeah. The Reese the Reese and Cybergirl dynamic is so good. It's really, 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 really good. Um, but since they built this up already, I think what I would do if I was writing this show, I would leave it alone. I will leave it alone for now and just have that looming over the entire show. Because now Cybergirl can face off against the two other androids, maybe another new secondary villain, and maybe a really lower third villain who she's gonna keep learning life lessons from them and other people across River City. But then at the end of each episode, you'll see Reese luring down because, hey, I know this is River City, this is where you want to live, but it's controlled by one person. The one person that is complete opposite of you and wants the complete opposite things you do, and it's Reese. So I think that would be really cool. Again, I mean, in my opinion, I think Jackson and Kat were a lot better in this episode than the last episode, especially Jackson, because at least Jackson was being consistent to who he was. Because in that bully episode, when something's happening to him and he's really subconscious about it, or not subconscious, excuse me, self-conscious about it, he doesn't want to talk about it. He completely shuts off all communications. And that was a lot more consistent with this episode, with him seeing Neri having everything come easy to her. But I think to pull that point across even more, I think it would have been easy to show things that he can do as well that she can't do, which also makes him human and makes him unique as a human. So I think it would have been a lot better if I know Jackson was injured, but if somehow he saved Cybergirl from helping her escape the hospital, something she couldn't even do, but Jackson did it, and he's just human. I think a dynamic like that would have been a lot better. But again, it was just Cybergirl just doing Cybergirl things. Again, I think the strongest character in this episode was Reese. I think his whole dynamic was really cool. He definitely really. I mean, we all know he was the antagonist of the show, but now this episode 12, it truly feels like he has River City by its throat. And in my opinion, after reading so many comic books, watching so many superhero shows, movies, all that stuff, those are the most dangerous supervillains, right? The most dangerous supervillains are villains that have a complete sinister look on life and the people that live on Earth, but yet the people in his community look to him as some type of role model, some type of superior God that, oh, he would never do wrong by us. He's always loving and all this stuff. But in actuality, he treats them as lesser life forms, and I think that's always such a great dynamic. It honestly makes me think. I think this actor is actually doing a really good job. I think he's doing a pretty damn good job. But I feel like they could have went with someone else. Someone. I feel like I would have casted someone who was almost someone more appealing in terms of in terms of looks. Someone who maybe looks like a. What's a really good example? Maybe someone like a. Someone who just looks like a model in a sense. Someone who, not a model, excuse me, but someone who looks like a politician. Someone who looks like everywhere they go, every second of the day, they have a smile on their face. They have this and that, kind of like they're a millionaire. It looks like their life is perfect. Like, oh, I want their life. But then deep behind like closed doors, they're just angry at the world and everyone who inhabits the planet, and they will not stop until they cease control of the entire world, which is like, I don't know, I would have casted that, but this actor's doing a pretty damn good job too, so I'm not really too mad about that. I'm trying to think who would be the perfect cast for that. I'm thinking maybe I don't know. I feel like I've had more time to think about the casting. I think the girl who plays Cybergirl is really good. I really like her as Cybergirl. I think Jackson's fine. I think Kat's fine too. I think they could find any actress who looks like a hipster though. Um, but the actor who plays Reese, this is gonna be eating me all day. I don't know. I don't know. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give that episode a 5 again. No, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. It is a lot better than the last episode, and that whole Reese dynamic totally made up for it. It was so good, so evil that he was willing to let someone who needs to be hospitalized not to get the treatments they want just so he can get his way. That was super cool. That was super cool. So yeah. So let's I guess we're gonna go on to episode 13 now. So this is gonna be episode 13, and we're going to start this episode. Lazar says, "Do you know any other Australian actors?" I don't know many. I just know only a few that are kind of, you know, they do mainstream work over here in America. I think the number one Australian actress that I can think of the top of my head who would actually make a pretty decent Cybergirl is Emily Browning, if you know who that is. She was the lead actress on Sucker Punch, which is a movie I absolutely love. Um, yeah, Emily Browning. Obviously, Hugh Jackman. I know he's Australian, but I wouldn't have him beat Reese. But so yeah. Let's keep thinking about who we can have as who. So let's start episode 13 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I should also make predictions of what's going to happen within each episode, but I feel like it's kind of unpredictable because everything just resets itself. Um, but yeah, Australian actors. Yeah, maybe I really don't know any. Oh wait, Rebel Wilson's Australian. I don't know who she would play though. Yeah, I have no idea. I think maybe someone like. Hmm. I'm thinking maybe someone, and this is going to be a large part, right? Or not a large part. Just hear me out when I say this. Think of Christian Bale from Batman, right? Think of him in American Psycho. He has the face, and he presents himself as someone who is well liked, someone who has his stuff together. But then behind closed doors, he's absolutely evil. He's an evil human being. Someone like that. The actor who plays Reese, he doesn't really come across as evil until he delivers his lines. Right? Or no, excuse me. When you deliver your lines, you're supposed to be evil, right? He doesn't really come off as a person who is well liked in his community as his character is just from his appearance. So that's what I'm saying. He could totally be different casted, but again, this actor is doing the best he can, and it's a good job. Mm-hmm. Well, what is she doing? Boo. So Cybergirl does this stuff without Knowing she's doing it, she's got to become better at that. That's literally Mario Kart every day. Someone just beats you at the last minute because of a blue shell. I mean, worse. Wait, they don't know you're Cybergirl though, so just walk casually. Yeah, I should have just casual. Yeah. Yeah, you might as well just run home now. I don't understand why he just won't, why Reese won't just try to capture one of them to learn more about Cybergirl. Yeah, how are you supposed to chase them? Oh yeah, why would you enhance it? So this actress from Cybergirl, I think she's on Instagram. I think this is her. This should be her. I really do think this is her, but I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't know if this is her or not. No, I'll reach out to her later. Yeah, yeah. Lazarus, that's the actress I'm talking about. Well, it must be her because there's no one else. Unless that's her. No, I don't think that's her. Or maybe. I don't know. No, I'm just confused. This episode's starting pretty slow. Yeah, so what's the premise of this episode? Like, what's the moral dilemma? You know what would have been really cool for this Cybergirl show? There's so many different ways you could have like this show could have been made to be also really cool. I think I think I think it would have been really cool if it was just about like Jackson, his dad, Kat, and maybe a little bit about Reese and all that stuff, and not about Cybergirl, and just have Cybergirl as just a figure of like, whoa, there's actually someone. Like if you were to start the show off with like a normal life, this and that, and then all of a sudden your life is saved by this android, you're like, who are you? And then every other episode or every episode, you know, it's kind of like everyday life, learning life lessons and stuff like that. But then there is a superhero out there doing things for you. And then maybe every so episodes and now you come in close contact with them and you're like, who are you? You know? I feel like that would have been great because Ocean Girl kind of has that. Because for the longest, you're just trying to figure out what the hell is Neri, right? Because you figure this out. I mean, like when you're trying to figure this out with Cybergirl, you're just like, wow, a human doing these things. Like, what happened to her? And then the more you talk to her and you figure her out, you're like, holy crap, I don't think she's human at all. I think she was built in a lab. And you're like, no, she wasn't built in a lab. She's not from this planet. How crazy. Sneaking off alone? Woman? As if I can't handle myself. You have to morph. You have to morph. Hmm. Yeah, what is this episode? It's like a lot of nothing happening. My computer. How are you gonna help? Here's one thing that's definitely has to get better as the seasons go. This show has some really cool stunts, but it's like the same stunts, right? I understand they have a little budget and all that stuff, but they should really look at it like Burn Notice does. Burn Notice makes the most of what they have, but what little they're able to get. So they do really big stunts, but because of their budget, they can only do it once, and they have to make them count. So I think that would have been really cool for Cybergirl. All the money it takes to set up this techno crane with the wires and having them do these flips and stuff like that. Save that. We don't need that. Save it for like the end of each episode when it's like, you know, something really big is happening. Membership. He has a membership. No, I mean I can use it, fool. What are you gonna help me with? Jackson needs to get off his high horse, man. I can see why he didn't have any friends. He's gonna feed the seagull. I would have loved, like, I don't know. Clearly, I feel like these are like fake opponents, but really they're allies. The other cyborgs, or AKA the other androids in Cybergirl. I can see them being antagonists or whatever, like side antagonists throughout the first season, but the second season, or maybe that like the season finale to the second season, they're actually allies and they actually help each other. Or maybe they're like kind of like anti-heroes or anti-villains or anti-heroes mostly. Look at the truck he's driving in. Eating a whole crab. Duh. I don't know even know why y'all are here. Hmm. What is this episode? This is kind of, I don't know. It's kind of useless. Just kind of skip it all together. And again, I think they're focusing on the wrong things, right? As shows, you know, you take a few episodes and you build these characters, right? Once you establish these characters, now you have to establish their relationship towards each other. You have that with Jackson, Cybergirl, and Kat. We done that. Now we have it with Cybergirl and Reese. We have that. Now we you even have it with Reese and Jackson's dad, right? And now you even have it with Cybergirl and the other androids, and then the androids with Reese. We have all these connections, right? We have them. Now it is the perfect time to make a story arc of what's going to happen, what is trying to happen. And now you can start adding in these side characters who literally do nothing and just have them do little things. Little things that sure may not matter, but there is an overgrowing arc and we get to know more about them in the process. I wonder how strong she is. I mean, Cybergirl, what? I would imagine she can win against at least one of them in a fair fight. Because it's funny. It's like she just keeps doing what she has to do to just avoid him, and then she just runs away. I like how she easily just dodged that. Okay. Okay. Maybe I don't have to stop it. I just got to get it out. That's true. I like people. So an explosion, and I don't know what type of explosion that is, but an explosion like that can destroy Cybergirl, right? So I wonder how much durability she has, like physical resistance. Like I wonder if she was hit by like a subway or a train. Like if the Hulk just punched her, would she be okay? Because Spider-Man can take a hit from the Hulk, right? If that's the case, and if Cybergirl can't, then Spider-Man was technically stronger. But she would have to if she can lift all that. Wait, what? I love how Isaac took a fondness to Earth too. Interesting. So I watched the behind the scenes of Cybergirl and I saw them film this. It looked a lot cooler in the BTS than it does in the actual show. And I don't know why. Maybe it was too many cuts. I think if it was just all one singular cut, maybe have two cameras in case you want another angle, but just one singular camera of just seeing a girl in blue, just maybe have her on like a platform trampoline or something, jumping really high, almost like an angel, and then just diving into the water while it explodes. I feel like that would have been really cool. I feel like that whole practical effect, again, it's impressive that they did it, but it didn't look as cool as it did in the BTS shots. Mostly because it was just one stationary camera, and you just see one person just jumping, and then all of a sudden, boom, a huge explosion. So yeah, it's even simple things like that. This show, it's kind of learning, or I well, it only lasts one season, so it didn't. I guess it never learned that lesson. Again, it can learn a lot from burn notice. So that before the episode, this episode's about almost over. Like earlier this episode, when they were in that little warehouse thing, and you can tell she did like her wall run, and she had like wires and all that stuff, techno crane, all that stuff. Obviously, that costs a lot of money to do that effect, right? They didn't need to do that. Scrap all of that. Scrap that entire scene. Save all that money for this shot, for the one shot, and put all your money in one basket. Put all your eggs in one basket and make that look incredible. Again, it's just as if they can. They could just run away. Wait, how did they survive? I don't understand why Reesewood didn't come to them to begin with. Um, yeah, Lazar says, "Oh look, another time bomb. This time Cybergirl can't stop this one. She couldn't stop the last one, right?" Um, Lazar125 also said, and also she did a flip jump and kick both of them. Yeah, that flip jump and kick didn't need to happen. Save money on that. All right, so that's the episode. This episode gets probably a 3 or a 4. I'm gonna give it a 3. This episode was completely uh what's better terms? Definitely didn't need to happen, and I felt like they focused on the wrong things. They completely focused on the wrong things. Um, a little bit upsetting that they did that though. um, gosh, yeah. What else can I what else can I even say? Um, ugh. I mean, again, I already kind of said it, right? These practical effects, they're cool, but not great, right? There's nothing that would keep someone from staying and watching, because in terms of practical effects, let's say from the other TV shows I listed, from Thunderstone to Ocean Girl to the Tribe to other cartoon shows. The Tribe has the Tribe gets away with their practical effects just from the sheer beauty of the locations that they film. Beautiful locations, beautiful scenery, and it's all character driven. These you want to see these characters in these environments doing these things, having these fight scenes, and this that and the third. Even though their fight scenes are actually absolutely trash, but they're no better than what, no worse than what Cybergirl's fight scenes are. Um, you look at something like Ocean Girl, their effects, and season by season, the Ocean Girl effects get a lot better. But let's say season three. Let's say season three. There's a lot of cooler things happening. You know what? I would just say for Cybergirl, if I was able to, I don't know, if I was able to direct or something like that, this episode or something, or maybe be like a showrunner, I would just say let's focus on things that people don't know or people don't really get to see all too often. We get to see ships blow up, cars blow up, guns being fired. We see all that stuff all the time on TV, right? I don't think you have to have a primary emphasis on that. Lazar also says, "Oh wait, no, Lazar, you already said that." Yeah, we don't have to. For example, so Cybergirl. What is the number one thing that makes Cybergirl a cool show to watch? And it's her being Cybergirl. It's seeing her do things that only a cyborg can do. And it's not just like super strength, super speed. It's not any of that stuff. But it's how she interacts with technology, right? I think it would have been really cool to have maybe like a scene where, I don't know, maybe she's like she's down there in that boat, that submarine or whatever, and with literally 6 seconds left, she uses her super speed to knock the other androids out. Um, turn off, not necessarily turn off the bomb, but try to isolate the blast radius. Gets out of the boat, tie up the boat's entry so no one else can get out, and then when it's slow mo up to a few seconds left, she just completely jumps out and just like complete explosion. I mean, I don't know. Let me not even say that, because honestly, if I was making this show, I wouldn't even make this episode. I would completely rewrite it, because this was not a good episode. Um, it's completely useless. It's completely like, I honestly, I can't even remember what happened in the beginning of the episode. It's that it's that so unimportant. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just disappointing, disappointing, very disappointing. And I don't think it's any of the actors. I don't think they did anything wrong. I don't think the locations they shot weren't good locations. Again, the practical effects that they did were cool. It was okay. It's not the best that they could have done, in my opinion, but what really falls short is just, or you know what it is? You know what it really it is? That practical effect at the end. I think they are doing that to make up for the boring episode because this episode is not exciting at all. And the more we get used to Cybergirl doing Cybergirl things, like her super strength, her super speed, her able to pick up on things really fast, it makes you kind of wonder, why isn't she more aggressive when dealing with these people, right? If she is such an advanced prototype than the other cyborgs, I don't understand why she just doesn't terminate them when she sees them, right? Again, it's a kid's show. I know they can't really go that far into it, but the more you start watching this show, the more you try to input your own logic into it to try and make it make sense to why this show isn't what I want it to be. And that leads to people just not watching the show altogether. Um, so again, Cybergirl is strong. She is a badass. I don't understand why she's not doing more badass things. She can be a complete passive person like Goku, right? But still, when things need to happen, she gets her shit done. She if you threaten her friend's life, or if you threaten her life in terms of you can no longer be a part of River City, or you threaten the city or anything like that, she would not hesitate, will not hesitate to rip your head off. I don't know. I feel like I'm just making up in my head why Cybergirl doesn't like literally punch Reese in the face and like literally giving him brain damage to the point where she doesn't do all these things, is because she finds it such little threats. Like him saying, "You're not leaving this hospital," or you're not going anywhere without my say so. I like, if I was Cybergirl, I literally wouldn't respond to that because that is not a threat. Like, I could literally take over your entire continent without even trying, but I won't do that because that's not what I want, right? It's almost like Superman in a sense. And that was the old day and age Superman idea that everyone, or just in the comics, right? What everyone had a problem with Superman, or at least the inhabitants of Metropolis and the government. They had a problem with Superman because this guy is really strong, really fast, and we can see him do godlike things. From the grace of God, he is a good person. What is stopping, like, what would happen if Lex Luthor just suddenly had that power? Or if Reese from Cybergirl had the powers of Cybergirl? The entire continent of Australia would be doomed. Absolutely. So, again, it is a good thing that Cybergirl met Jackson and met his dad and met these really kind people to where she can adapt kindness and wanting to help people. Because if she would have met someone like Reese first, or maybe someone who was a bad influence first, this would have been a completely different show. And I think that would have been really cool to have an episode on that, those dynamics of like what happens if you have bad influences in your life or whatever. But again, this episode, I think out of all the episodes, this episode was the most useless. The most like, don't even watch it. Don't even care to watch it. I'm tired of seeing Kat and Jackson act like they can do something. They can help. Like they're on the level of Cybergirl, that they're gonna able to do something important. Like, you're not. Stay in your lane. When she needs help doing, when there's something that you as a human can do that she cannot, she will let you know. Right? Until then, just live your life and just let Cybergirl do her thing. So yeah, that's the only complaint I have. So with that said, this episode is gonna get a 3 out of 10. Pretty bad, but I digress. Let's get into episode 14. So I'm gonna start episode 14 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. So I would imagine that this would be a little bit of a continuation, right? because Reese now has copted up some type of deal with the other androids. And again, I don't know why they would even listen to Reese. He has no bargaining chip. You have nothing they would want, right? Now, if he says, I have an idea where you can get Cybergirl, they'll listen to you and they'll ask you for your ideas. And once you give them your idea, they'll probably just kill you because they don't need you. Is this the first time we see someone black on the show? Oh, I guess not. See quite a few black people. Australia is a pretty diverse place, I've heard. It's good to see her back in an episode. Hmm. Hmm. Out. These androids are smart. They would adapt. They would just change their appearance. Dumbass. Oh, they're faking it. Yeah, do it. That is amazing. You see, this is what separates Cybergirl from a lot of the people, a lot of the heroes, and seeing this on TV. We want more of this, and show it with more. Put more of your production money into that. Like if we would have saw Cybergirl really fast beat some people on a boat, heroically jump off, and then twitch her head, and she's like connecting to like a whole bunch of different servers. and able to do this stuff, and then while it's exploding in the background, that would have been cool. I feel like that would have been a lot better. Yeah, they're focusing on the wrong stuff with Cybergirl. Like her, like doing superhuman strength and speed and all that stuff. That's not what makes Cybergirl Cybergirl. It's the fact that she is a living, or I guess living, yeah, a walking computer. Isaac's the only reason why I'm still watching this show. Yeah, this actor's doing the best of what he can. I would have casted someone else different though, but he's doing good. Yeah, here's the thing with Fatal Flaws though. There's their AI, and like all AI, it's like Seven of Nine, what she said in Star Trek, right? I will adapt. Whatever you throw at her, she'll just adapt. I also want to I want to know more about the home planet that Cybergirl came from and the people who made her. I want to know more about that than anything else. Put on the helmet. So what is this episode? Again, this is starting off super slow too, and we're 10 minutes in. I mean, Isaac has been great. From cold, you might have a better chance of overheating their circuits. That happens to all machines when they overheat. I don't know why he wouldn't start with just overheating it. Oh, and Lazarus says, "Man, Isaac is always hungry." What makes him so funny? That would have been cool if they would have locked him in there and he would have froze to death. That would have been cool. Brutal, but cool. What is wrong with y'all? Wait, why are you? Oh, is that what they do for statues? I feel like they just get sculptures to do it. Oh God. Why the fuck? Reach your hand out there. Get hope pull it up. The guy in the truck is just like, I don't know what to do, man. Wow. Oh, what's the point of this episode? I do like Mirror, Bugtux, Emerald, and Sapphire, though. I wish there were some episodes about them. Yeah, especially Emerald and Sapphire. Especially those two. It makes no sense why they would be in this episode and not the two episodes before. Because clearly they're infatuated with Cybergirl. Why wouldn't they have that episode to themselves about having a museum to Cybergirl? Who is this truck driver? He's just like, yeah, I got it to work now. Finally. Go up. Lady, you have to hold on to it. You don't even need Cybergirl. Just hold on to the hook. And why does the dad have no speaking lines? Where is she? Where was she? Well, you can't save everyone. I'm not even blaming. That's true. Yeah, and what is Cybergirl supposed to do anyway? Literally rip her arm off? Like trying to pull her up? Nah, you'll be dead before that happens, ma'am. Duty calls. Yeah, again, I don't know what Cybergirl's supposed to do. Yeah, move, fool. I'm interested to see how she's gonna get her out. Oh, so she's just being legit a jackhammer. So they would have done it. Yeah, they would have gotten her out eventually with a jackhammer. Especially that truck driver. How is she controlling that thing? Well, I guess it's has computers in it. Normally it wouldn't, but I feel like Cybergirl can just drop from right there and she'll be fine. how strong she is, I'm pretty sure her legs can take the impact. This is so weird. This is so stupid. Lazarus says Cybergirl ain't listening to Reese. She's like, I don't care about your ideas. Yeah, I don't know why she just doesn't ignore him completely. Never. That doesn't make sense either. That doesn't make sense. The androids would accept him as their leader. I'm sorry. That's just really stupid. Shut up, Jackson. Do something useful. Okay. It's called manipulation. Cybergirl season. I said Cybergirl. Ocean Girl. That's the episode. Ocean Girl season 3 did an amazing story arc with Cal about how someone who has your best interest doesn't necessarily, or someone who is very kind to you doesn't necessarily have your best interest. I feel like this is something. Well, again, maybe this is her story arc that she's gonna learn this, right? But again, for how many useless episodes that we've had thus far, she should have been learned this, right? We could have already had a story arc about this with the twins or with the teacher or with somebody else. This is another bad episode, another 3 out of 10. At this given point, I am forcing myself to watch this show. I don't think I'm ever gonna finish this season. I don't think I'm ever gonna finish Cybergirl season 1 because of how useless these episodes are and how much none of it really matters. And again, that's what we were talking about from the start of this stream. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a cool show and all that stuff, but even if you would have brought Cybergirl back today, like if they were showing reruns on like Nickelodeon or something, I still don't think it would have. Um, I still don't think it would have last, especially what these other shows have going for themselves. And these other shows are more conscious about their identity and what they can offer to their show. Whether it's Cybergirl, I feel like Cybergirl doesn't really know what it is. And granted, a majority of first seasons of shows don't know what their identity for the show is yet. But at the same time, what makes Cybergirl Cybergirl, what makes the show good, the show doesn't want to play towards it, which is very confusing and very disrespectful to its viewers, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think because at this point, listen, I know she's Cybergirl. I know she can do amazing things, right? But let's not make Jackson and Kat so useless. Right? Let's not make them so useless. Um, I honestly think Kat's dad could have been like the third lower tier antagonist of the show. I mean, him like maybe him doing anything it costs, anything it takes to get the scoop on a story. Maybe if it turns out to him causing the problems himself, kind of like Nightcrawler, that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. So there's so many ways they could have went about this show, and I think ultimately, episode by episode, the more deeper we get into season one, you're seeing why it failed. Um, Lazar says, "I mean, everyone has a different opinion on on shows and episodes. Of course, that's what makes their opinions is the reason why people continue watching a show and then just stop watching the show altogether. Um, and again, I get it; it's a kids show, so you know sometimes it can't always have logic and this, that, and the third. But yeah, I just was hoping for something a little bit more. But even then, so we have you can even say like Cybergirl, the target audience is literally for like I would say 6 to like 13 or 14-year olds. Uh, and Ocean Girl is literally the same, along with the tribe being the same. And I feel like Ocean Girl, or excuse me, Cybergirl doesn't even come close. Doesn't even come close to competing with the tribe. Oh, it's not even close, especially in terms of its characters. Oh my goodness, not even close. And its story, right? And even with Ocean Girl, the characters are better. I wouldn't say a whole lot better. Well, depending on who. I think Neri's amazing, but characters are not too like a whole lot better. But the story is incredible with Ocean Girl, the overarching story. So yeah, Cybergirl just has a lot of stuff it needs to a lot of stuff it needs to work on, and it just needs to figure out. Which obviously by this time is obviously too late, but yeah, yeah. So we're on episode 15 now on this watch party, and I don't know how useless this episode is gonna be. These episodes do go by really fast though, which I'm not too sure if that's a good thing. Um, Sometimes when episodes can go by too fast, sometimes there's like very little things you can remember about it, which makes it kind of like, well, what did I just watch, and what substance did I get from it? Um, Another thing too that's kind of forthtelling about it, you know, obviously, hopefully, you guys will look at the link, and you watch the episodes on the YouTube channel, but you watch like Cybergirl episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and you realize how it's like a good number of views, and obviously the views are still growing, but each episode as you gain forth, there's like a significant amount of less views than the one before it, and that just tells what this show was when it aired, right? Cool show, cool concept, but over the arc of time, it's losing its viewers because it's just so unaware of its identity and what the show wants to be, and then also just not really doing a good job with its characters and its plot. But hey, that's TV for you. That's the majority of TV shows. So let's get into episode 15, and we're gonna start this episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. I would not. Oh my god. This makes me want to turn off this episode right now. There's no way they would allow him to speak like that to them. Are you serious? They would have literally ripped his head off. Yeah, this will be the episode where I'm not watching anymore. This is completely. I would have completely turned off my TV. There's no way they would allow to even work with him. And each second that they do, it just makes me cringe so hard. Haha, very funny, Jackson. Cat's parents are pretty funny. Why wouldn't you want to go if it's free food? Yeah, and Cat would be there. Oh, don't tell me that's the premise of this episode. Get the fuck out of here. If there's any disobedience from a dog, it's always the owner's fault. Any dog owner knows that. Or take your dog on a whole day walk. Just have your dog stay outside. Yeah, just have him house sit. He can just stay at our house. What? Okay. I can't believe this is the plot for this episode. Of This is Cyber. The show is called Cybergirl. Why is this the plot? Who wrote this? I thought it was a party. It's just us. Yeah, don't go into the garbage. Literally forgot about the dog. You can't get me to care about this episode. Hmm. That's an interesting stunt. I'm surprised actors did that. Oh my god. Alright, fuck this dog at this point. What? Why would the dog do that? Alright, he must want to get put down. How would. Clearly, yes, it's always the owner's fault and how a dog is not so obedient and whatnot. But what were y'all doing to that dog to make him have. To make him be this wild, right? Y'all probably are just allowing this dog to do whatever he wants in that household. Ooh. I'm gonna hold my comments. Better order some pizza. That would have been really cool if Jackson started liking one of the twins. Or one of the twins started liking Jackson and they can actually develop some type of romance. That would have been really cool. I'm also seeing what actually led. Why is he here? This show would have been 20,000 times better if it was just regular people and Cybergirl is just some figure that comes in and out. And then like it would have been really cool if like we just see this random character Jackson bumps into every other episode. Just a random person, just like, oh, excuse me, sorry. And then that's it. We don't see anything else from her. And at the end of the season finale, it reveals that she's Cybergirl. That would have been so cool. This show is just doing everything wrong. Brain dead boot looking lackey. That's kind of what you're doing now. Why are you prolonging the inevitable? Unless you're gonna run to the supermarket and go buy a duck. I like Reese's face. He's just like, as he should. That dog the fuck out of my house. This guy. You just didn't even notice he left. Just go to the store and buy a duck. Cybergirl would do that in like what, 2 minutes? Of course, she has to wait in line. Cybergirl, buy a cooked duck, not a raw one. You just send her back to the store and buy a cooked one, and then didn't come back. Uh, that was a weird outburst. What? Oh, Cybergirl, you can't do that. No. Why didn't you just buy a cooked duck? Liza says Isaac Cat's parents and Reese are probably the highlight for this episode. That for me, not to mention the interactions. Isaac's the highlight of every episode, and Cat's parents are always a delight. I would not. Then go to the store. Did you not take a shopping list with you? I love how she went into the store and no one made a reaction. That rice is gonna be nasty. You never open a lid up when you're cooking rice. Never. Don't tell me he smells it again. Lazar says, the scene of Cat and Cybergirl cooking is one of my faves. There's no dialogue, just music, and them just doing something. Yeah, whenever she does her Cybergirl stuff, it's always really fun to watch. I think it would have been funnier if because obviously Kat was she noticed that Cybergirl was doing Cybergirl things. I think it would have been really funny. She's like, all right, I'm gonna cut this pineapple, and then you do that, all right, and you let me know when you're done. And then as she's like slowly cutting this pineapple, Cybergirl did already 20 things, and then the whole meal is already ready. And she's like, okay, I'm done. That would have been funnier. Okay. What's the point of this? I don't understand how you can blackmail someone from this. She's not even naked. What's the point? Okay, laughing stock. Big whoop. She's still the mayor. As if she matters what people think of her, as long as she's in charge. That woman looks nothing like her daughters. I wonder what their dad looks like. So silly. I think my Panthers won watching hockey or saw hockey score. uh, look at the dad. What a stupid moral message. Now you like the dog. That's funny. And that's the episode. I can't decipher what was more useless, this episode or the last one. Holy crap! Oh my god. I still love this theme music. This theme music is still awesome. Okay, so technically, I only had lined up episodes 11 through 15. But since I know that I'm definitely not going to be watching this show again, because at this point it's just too much buffoonery, I am going to watch the last episode of Cybergirl. I'm going to watch the last episode of Cybergirl just so I can kind of prove my sense of, prove my theory of, because what are we, episode 15? Last episode is like 11 episodes ahead. Let's see if I miss anything, right? Now, I don't have a graphic really set up for it. Well, let's see. Could I set up a graphic for it? If you guys haven't seen this Jackie Chan review, I guarantee you, or I not guarantee you, I highly suggest you watch it. Alright, so how would I do this? Well, there is no doing, I guess. This cyber, oh, that's deleted. And then, not that. That's something different. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll just replay episode 11. That's what it's going to say on screen. But I'm going to watch the very last episode of Cybergirl. I'm going to watch it. Episode... What episode is it? 26? Yeah. 24. I'm just looking at the thumbnails. 23, 24, 25. And here's 26. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's watch the very last episode of Cybergirl. This will be... And let me make sure I say this on my... in the comments. That I will be watching episode 26. It's going to say it's episode 11, but it's not. Obviously, because I didn't plan ahead and thinking that these episodes would be so useless to the point where I'm like, you know what? I just don't want to do this. I do not want to start an episode, an episode 3, or, I mean, excuse me, an episode 16, 17, 18, and so on and so forth. So, okay, wait for it. I'm just waiting for my chat to upload. I'm going to type it in. Well, I guess, well, I'll have time codes at the bottom when I edit this, so I'll have time code. Okay, so I'll type it in, and then we'll get started. This is the start of Cybergirl episode 26. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start episode 26 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last episode. Unfortunately, I can't say I'm excited to watch it. I just want to get it over with. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, so much potential. So much potential the show had. All right, last episode. Let's try to guess what's been happening. Okay, this is a rare sighting. We see the dad open the show up. See Cybergirl. See Jackson. Why didn't you sleep in your bed? Yeah, Lazar. It's episode 11 because I haven't made a graphic for episode 26. This is episode 26 that I'm watching. I just have this up just so you can watch it along with me. I'd rather do it now than to make a whole episode review of it. Unless you rather would make me, or unless you rather have me just make a complete episode review and have it separate from this live stream. You know what? Let's do that because I wanna. I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna save this. I'm just gonna save this for the live stream. I'm gonna not live stream. Excuse me. I'm gonna save this for a complete episode review because I have a lot of content I'm gonna post next week. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this. We will watch this. I'm gonna do a complete episode review. A full episode review on Cybergirl, and then I need to start watching Love Life season 2 anyway. So I have Cybergirl, Love Life, and I need another TV show to watch. I need something. Oh, maybe I can watch Murders. Something Murders. It's something that's on Hulu. I forgot what it was. Someone was telling me to watch that. I'll probably watch that too. So I got 3 shows to watch. I'll probably record them sometime tomorrow. Yeah. So, all right. Well, yeah, that's the live stream, I guess. That was Cybergirl episodes 11 through 15, and honestly, it was kind of. I mean, I liked episode 11. Was it 11 when Isaac did his really funny bit? Episode 11 was okay. Like it was decent. And then the rest of the episodes were really like I feel like if I was like recording Cybergirl on my TV, I would literally program my TV to stop recording the episodes because it was like, there's no reason to keep watching this. And it's sad. It always breaks my heart when I come to that kind of realization for a TV show because of so much effort that goes into it, what the actors put in, directors, all the below the line crew members, um, and just so much production just went into the show just to be put out for the youth, for something to keep their minds off of, either the real world or something for them to look up to. Awesome to see a female protagonist, especially a female superhero doing her thing. And it's just I don't know, just I think a better writing staff for this show would have really helped, and a better showrunner, someone to run the show and to say, hey, this show needs this and that. It needs to be focused on this, not necessarily what we're doing, right? Because I don't know, I think right after episode 10 the show really just, and listen, every TV show of every season kind of has like a high point, and then they kind of dip and they just stay in the middle, right? Every TV show does that. But the point is, how much do you dip when you stay in that middle? And I feel like Cybergirl dipped really, really low. And at this point, it was just staying so stagnant to the point it was like, why even keep watching? I can just rewatch another show that I really like. But yeah, it's I feel like I could talk about this show for hours, but it's just so, I don't know what else to say about it. It's, I have no idea. Liza says that's why a few years later H2O came out after Cybergirl, and look how that turned out. It did really well. Yeah. Well, I still have to watch H2O, and what was this? Well, I mean, okay, I understand what you're saying now with H2O, and again, I haven't seen it, so that's something I have to watch. But I don't understand how the creator of Cybergirl can make something like Ocean Girl and have that kind of, the story being really plotted out, well written, for the story and the characters and things like that, and then you make something like Cybergirl where you have a little bit more money in the budget for a show, but then you completely disregard the writing of the plot and the characters, and it just completely, it throws the whole show away. Lazar also says, and in between that, well, Pirate Islands, Wicked Science, and Shooter Secret Agent. And Shooter Secret Agent. What is Shooter Secret Agent? I'm gonna look this up. Wicked Science. I think I remember looking that up before. I remember watching Weird Science as a kid. Not the movie, but the actual TV show that came on Wham. Let's see. Scooter. There's no the. Scooter Secret Agent. Let's see what this is. Scooter Secret Agent trailer. Oh, is this a German show? I'm just gonna click on the whole thing. This looks goofy. Interesting. So here's the thing with spy shows for me, and this stuff is cool. Don't get me wrong, it's very cool. I started thinking that all spy shows are very dumb, including 007 movies and anything that's related to spies. Ever since I started watching Burn Notice, because it just shits on all of that. Like, the way Burn Notice is done is like, this is what spy shows should be about. No matter what age the audience is, no matter anything, it should be about this. And but this is cool. It's German though, right? Or maybe it's not German and they're just speaking German. Oh. Yeah, he's speaking. Yeah, I can tell this is not a German show. They're just speaking German. It's like dub German. It's whatever though. You ever watched a TV show called Aaron Stone? That's kind of similar, only it's kind of like based on a video game type thing. But yeah. Well, I mean, that's the Cybergirl live stream. I mean, I wish there was anything else. I mean, there's gonna be one more final episode that I'm gonna watch of Cybergirl. It's gonna be the very last episode, and we're gonna see how it, how everything, how everything kind of translates, and if I care about these characters or not. If I care what happens, do I care if that there won't be a season 2 or anything like that? Should this show just be remain in the dark or in the dust? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking at this point, but yeah. All right. Well, that's the live stream. Um, let's see if I can last 2 more minutes. Try to get to 3 hours because why not? Yeah, but that's the live stream. That was Cybergirl. So let's try to do like a live stream every weekend. So next weekend we need to find a TV show to watch. And I'm gonna try to figure out what TV show. I'm gonna have something picked out. If not, maybe maybe it will be like Love Life or something like that. Oh. Love Life, or try to figure out what people are watching nowadays so they can get invited to my channel. Yeah. You said, yeah, this hurts for me watching. I mean, listen, Cybergirl is a cool show. It is such a cool show. The concept of it is awesome. I think it is very cool. It's just very forgettable. It's like watching like a blockbuster movie in theater that you're like, okay, I was entertained for that hour or 2 hours or whatever, but I won't remember this movie in T minus the weekend or T minus when I get home. So, it is what it is, and I don't know. For me, my passion for movies and TV, especially for TV, I just see shows a lot more than that. I feel like a TV show doesn't have to just be a filler or just a program on a time slot that's just there to be there, just so kids can have just an option if they want to watch it. If not, they can watch something else. Like, no, like I believe TV shows are there for a reason, and they influence people of all ages and of all kinds to do certain things, to feel certain things. And the fact that people make TV shows and are not really conscious that what they're making can have that effect, then I think you're in the wrong business. Because Cybergirl had of a lot of potential, But hey, from my observation, I mean, it kind of ended where I thought it was. Again, the pilot episode will let you know how the season's going to go, and that entire season can let you know from the entire series. And from how season 1 was going, I saw no future seasons, no future series for Cybergirl. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. It is what it is. And I also thought the show did actually a pretty good job not catering towards what is supposed to be mainstream. Like, people always trying to attract to sex appeal and things of that nature. So I thought I was really good. I love that Cybergirl wasn't like some sexual object on screen. She was just a normal girl and just a normal, or trying to be a normal human being and doing all this stuff, which I know that sounds like, oh, well, why wouldn't a show do that, right? Well, you'd be surprised. A lot of these TV shows try to sexualize their characters, no matter what age they are. And a lot of TV shows try to instill certain beliefs and false beliefs to their audience that is also not welcome either. So it's awesome that Cybergirl didn't do that, but then at the same time, there was no beliefs. They hardly have any moral messages in throughout this first season, or at least from what I've seen, that would make me not want to watch. But yeah, all right, that is the live stream. As you see, Amber throwing someone off of a off of a stairs. I love the tribe so much. So yeah, that is the stream, and I will see you guys. Well, look out for the channel. I'll be posting a lot more content. I finished the movie review last night, so that movie review will be up and about, kind of, you know, kind of sometime within next week, maybe on a Tuesday or Thursday or something, and then full episode reviews of Cybergirl, Love Life, all that stuff will be posted next week as well, along with another podcast YouTube episode, which should be fun. I think I'm gonna post two. I already have Gremlins up on Spotify, but I'm thinking of making a YouTube video for it because I'm sure a lot of people look up Gremlins. But yeah, other than that, be on the lookout for that stuff, and then I will be at the start of making my new analysis video, which will be about The Deuce and Love Life, the two TV shows. And after that, I think I'm making another analysis on 007 and The Little Vampire, both of those franchises, and kind of comparing them. What you think, 007, The Little Vampire? How can you compare those two? I think it can be done, and it's something I'm passionate about talking about how franchises on how a franchise can stay relevant throughout the course of its time. And in my opinion, I think The Little Vampire stays relevant a lot better than 007 does. But yeah, when I make the video, we'll see. Which I shouldn't have a problem with finding HD copies of that. I already have a good quality version of The Little Vampire, but 007 shouldn't be a problem. I'm just finding problems of trying to find really good looking video of Love Life, because that show is not on DVD, so I can't take it from that. But yeah, there's like hardly any HD videos out there. Well, if I really want that one scene, it's doable. It's completely doable. I just have to finesse it, which I always do. Oh, but how am I gonna get the audio for that? Well, I'll figure it out. Well, I guess now would be the time to figure it out, since that is the next video I am working on. But yeah, that's the live stream. Be on the lookout for more content next week. And anything else? You know what? There might be a live stream tomorrow. I'm gonna try and test out a live stream to see if I can do like a workflow live stream of like me editing on my Premiere software, and then I can just chat to you guys and make my edits about like whatever. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. But we'll see. Sometimes my streaming software is like it's on the fritz or whatever, or maybe just because I have to just have it booted. I don't know. I'm gonna test it out probably when this live stream ends and see if my other thing can run while it's running as well. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Oh, also, if you haven't followed my podcast, go on anywhere you get your podcast, any streaming site. Usually Spotify is what they use. Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. And listen to my podcast. Follow my podcast, like it, download it. All of that helps. All of it truly helps. So yeah. I guess I will see you on the next one. Until then, victory your death, Starfighters. I should use this stream ending a little bit more often, so I have to change this. Yeah. Victory your death, Starfighters.